Good morning, and it's a beautiful morning. It's sunny and it's warm for a change. No sign of rain at the moment. I'm sure we've all been waiting for that. The theme today, if there is a theme, is simply a blue and white one. So I've got two, arguably the stars of the show. But before I introduce them, I'll just make a little disclaimer, and that is that the hydrangeas that we've got in at the moment are fine for planting out now, but they have been forced. So hydrangeas don't normally flower in May or June. They usually start flowering in July and towards the beginning of the autumn, which is one of the reasons we like them so much, because they're really useful for giving a big wallop of late season colour. The two that I've got here, this one I brought out specifically because it's a newish variety. It's called Runaway Bride, and it was, I believe, plant of the year at the Chelsea Flower Show a couple of years ago. And one of its claims to fame is that it not only flowers on the terminal shoots, but also on the laterals, which means that you end up with this kind of ball of flower. Like all hydrangeas, they're very good if you've got a position that's a bit heavy and clayey or wet even, because they love their moisture. They will tolerate shade as well. So, as I say, very useful for particularly the smaller garden. But if you've got them in a sunny position, they're also quite happy with that, as long as they're getting plenty of moisture. That's the big thing. And the other one to kind of go with it is more vigorous. This is Teleblue, which, like Runaway Bride, is what they call a mop head. So you've got the sterile florets around the outside, which are kind of flags, if you will, to draw the insects in. And then the real flowers, the ones that have the pollen and the nectar, are in the middle. They haven't opened yet. And those are pretty good for the bees and things. So not only is it going to make your garden look nice, but it's going to be good for the insects too. To continue the blue and white theme, I've chosen a lupin, which, as I'm sure you know, will be the stars of the show at Chelsea very soon. This one's called Masterpiece. It's a sort of purpley blue. These are the West Country lupins, which we like to describe as lupins on steroids. They're really chunky, they're really big. And while they're in flower, they look absolutely stunning. If I'm being brutally honest with you, like a lot of things, they don't look so hot after they've flowered. So the best thing to do is probably cut them back, watch for things like aphid and mildew, and if you see that, spray, and then make sure they don't go short of moisture again. These love a sunny position, again with plenty of moisture, not too much food. Like a lot of the pea family, they're capable of creating their own nitrogen from the root nodules, so they don't like a really rich soil, lupins. And this is potentially something that you can plant at the back of the group. It's a relation to the jasmines. It's called Traculospermum jasminoides. And if you know your Latin, as soon as you see the word oides, it means looks like. So because they weren't very imaginative, that's all they could think of. It looks like a jasmine. The leaf is different. It's evergreen and it's simple, not compound like a true jasmine, but it smells absolutely brilliant. It's like a sort of biscuity, vanilla-y smell. It's particularly good at night or in the evening. So if you've got a sitting out area that you use in the garden, put one of these in a pot near it, and it's something nice to relax, you know, when you get home with a glass of wine, obviously. And then finally, a rose, which is terrifically popular with Man City supporters. It's called Blue for You, and it's not obviously really blue, because as yet we haven't got a truly blue rose, but it's a lovely kind of slaty purple colour. It has a fantastic smell and it's very healthy. So for me, that ticks all the boxes with what I would expect from a rose. It's just starting to bud up now. They should be out probably next month. Normally the middle of June is a kind of peak slot for your first flowers on roses, and then obviously they repeat flower. So after it's finished flowering, just cut back about 2 or 3 leaves down the stem to keep it compact, and it'll flush up with another set of growth and another set of flowers. Loves a sunny position and likes it rich. Okay, so a nice tasteful blue and white selection.